Welcome to this lecture on minimum spanning trees, one of the most powerful and practically useful concepts in graph theory. In this session, we'll explore two powerful greedy algorithms, Kruskal's and Prim's. By the end, you'll understand not just how they work, but why they always find the optimal solution, and when to choose one over the other. Before we talk about minimum spanning trees, let's clarify what a spanning tree actually is. A spanning tree is a subgraph that touches every vertex in the graph but contains no cycles. It's like a skeleton that holds everything together with the minimum number of connections. Critically, for a graph with v vertices, the spanning tree always has exactly v minus 1 edges. A minimum spanning tree, or MST, is the spanning tree where the total sum of edge weights is as small as possible. Keep in mind, the graph must be connected and undirected, though negative weights are perfectly fine for both algorithms. We'll study. Kruskal's algorithm takes a big picture, global view of the graph. Imagine every vertex is its own isolated island, and you're trying to build the cheapest bridge network to connect them all. The greedy rule is simple. Always pick the smallest weight edge that doesn't create a cycle. In practice, you sort all edges by weight in ascending order, then process them one by one, accepting an edge if it connects two different components and rejecting it if both endpoints are already linked. You stop as soon as you've accepted exactly v minus 1 edges. The key data structure that makes this efficient is union find, which lets us check and merge components in nearly constant time. Let's trace Kruskal's algorithm on a concrete 5-node example. After sorting, we pick BC with weight, when 1, no cycle, accepted. Then AB with weight 2, accepted. When we reach AC with weight 3, notice that A and C are already connected through B, so we skip it to avoid a cycle. CD with weight 4 is accepted. BD with weight 5 is skipped because it would close a cycle. And finally, CE with weight seek completes our spanning tree. The final MST cost is 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 6, giving us 13. Notice we only needed 4 edges for 5 vertices. That's v minus 1 in action. Prim's algorithm thinks locally rather than globally. Picture building a subway system. You start at one station and keep extending one line at a time, always choosing the cheapest new connection. The greedy rule is to always pick the minimum weight edge that crosses from the current tree into unexplored territory. You begin by picking any starting vertex, then repeatedly identify all frontier edges, those connecting inside the tree to outside, and greedily pick the smallest one. This continues until every vertex is absorbed into the tree. The natural data structure here is a priority queue or min heap, which keeps the frontier edges sorted efficiently. Let's run prims on the same 5-node graph, starting at vertex A. Our initial frontier edges are AB at weight 2 and AC at weight 3. We pick ABB, the cheapest, and add vertex B to the tree. Now the frontier expands to include BC at weight 1, which is actually cheaper than AC, so we pick BC next and add vertex C. Continuing, we pick CD at 4 and then CE at 6. The final MST costs 2 plus 1 plus 4 plus 6, still 13, exactly matching Kruskal's result. This confirms a key insight. Both algorithms always find the same minimum total cost, regardless of their strategy. A common question students ask is, does the starting vertex matter in prims? The answer is no. It changes the journey, but never the destination. Here, we rerun prims on the same graph starting from vertex D instead of A. We pick CD first, then BC, then AB, then CE. The edges chosen are in a completely different order, but when you add them up, 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 6, you still get 13. This is not a coincidence. It's a provable property of MSTs. The minimum total weight is unique, even when multiple valid MSTs exist. Let's revisit the 6-city graph, this time using prims starting from hospital. From H, our frontier includes edges to A, S, M, and U. We greedily pick AH at weight 3, then SH at 4. Note that once S is added, the SA edge becomes internal and is dropped from the frontier. Next, we take HM at 5. This opens up two very cheap edges, MP at 1 and UM at 2, both of which get selected. All 6 nodes are now connected, and our total cost is 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 1 plus 2, equaling 15, a perfect match with what Kruskal found earlier. Now that we've seen both algorithms in action, when should you prefer one over the other? Kruskal takes a global approach, sorts all edges up front, and uses union. Find, it shines on sparse graphs where edges are few and far between. Its complexity is OE log E. Prims grows locally from a seed vertex using a priority queue. It's more efficient on dense graphs with many edges, running at OE log V with a binary heap. One practical difference: Kruskal naturally handles disconnected graphs by producing a minimum spanning forest, while Prims needs to be manually restarted for each connected component. But remember, when the graph is connected, both algorithms guarantee the exact same minimum cost. This slide gives you a complete, step-by-step trace table for Kruskal's algorithm on our 5-node graph, the kind of table you might be expected to produce on an exam. Work through each edge in sorted order, ask yourself whether the two endpoints are already in the same component, and record your accept or skip decision along with the running cost. Notice how the cost only increases on accept steps. By step 6, we've collected 4 edges, V minus 1, and the algorithm terminates with a final MST cost of 13. Practicing this trace format by hand is one of the best ways to solidify your understanding before an assessment. What happens when multiple edges share the same weight? This is a classic source of exam confusion. In our diamond-shaped graph, 4 edges are all tied at weight 3. Depending on which tied edge you pick first, you can end up with 2 structurally different spanning trees, yet both cost exactly 9. This is guaranteed by the cut property and cycle property of MSTs, any valid tie-breaking rule. Alphabetical, by index, even random, will produce a valid MST with the same total weight. So, if an exam asks you to run Kruskal's and there are ties, don't panic. Pick consistently, show your work, and trust that the total will be correct. Here's a special case that trips up many students: negative edge weights. Think of a negative weight as a government subsidy. You're actually incentivized to include that edge because it reduces your total cost. Both Kruskal's and Prim's handle negative weights with zero modifications. In our example, AB with weight -2 is simply the first edge sorted, and it gets accepted immediately. No special treatment needed. Our final MST cost comes out to -2 plus 1 plus 4 equaling 3. This is a crucial distinction from Dijkstra's shortest path algorithm, which fundamentally breaks on negative edges. MST algorithms have no such limitation. What if the graph isn't fully connected? Say we have two isolated clusters with no edge between them, like two islands with no bridge. Kruskal's algorithm handles this gracefully. It processes all edges in sorted order, building spanning trees independently within each cluster. The result is a minimum spanning forest, a collection of MSTs, one per connected component. In our example, we end up with 4 accepted edges rather than 5, because we can never connect the two clusters. Prim's, by contrast, would get stuck in one component and never discover the other. You'd need to manually restart it for each disconnected piece. Minimum spanning trees aren't just a theoretical exercise. They power real engineering solutions across many domains. Telecommunications companies use MSTs to lay fiber optic cables or design power grids, minimizing infrastructure cost while maintaining full connectivity. In machine learning, single linkage, hierarchical clustering builds an MST on pairwise distances and removes the heaviest edges to create clusters. Computer vision applies MSTs to image segmentation, where pixels are nodes and color distance defines edge weights. MSTs even appear in approximation algorithms, a famous 2 approximation for the NP-hard traveling salesman. Problem is built directly on top of an MST. And in VLSI chip design, every modern processor uses MST techniques to minimize wire length between components. Time to test your understanding with a challenge. You're given a fully connected 6-node graph with 9 edges. Your first task is to run Kruskal's algorithm and build a complete trace table. Remember, you'll need exactly 5 edges for 6 vertices. Then run Prim's starting from vertex F, tracking the frontier at every step. Finally, verify that both algorithms agree on the same 5 edges. As a bonus, consider what happens if you remove the DF edge. Does the MST change? And how does the cycle property explain your answer? The instructor hint tells you the MST totals 13, but try to work it out yourself first. Here's your concise revision card for both algorithms. For Kruskal's, sort all edges except edges that bridge different components, reject those that create cycles, and stop at V-1 edges. For Prim's, seed with any vertex, repeatedly select the cheapest frontier edge, add the new vertex, update the frontier, and repeat. A few key properties to memorize. An MST always has exactly V-1 edges. Both algorithms handle negative weights correctly. Multiple valid MSTs can exist when edge weights are tied. And all valid MSTs for a given graph share the same minimum total weight. Keep this card handy for quick review before your exam. We close with the most important takeaway of this entire lecture. The greedy approach is provably correct for minimum spanning trees. Kruskal's and Prim's use completely different strategies. One global, one local, with different data structures, different iteration orders, and different starting points. Yet they always converge on the same optimal answer. This is not magic. It's mathematics, grounded in the cut property and cycle property of MSTs. If you walk away remembering one thing, let it be this. Sometimes the greedy choice really is the optimal choice. Thank you, and good luck with your studies.